What's up everyone and welcome back to some Kingdom Hearts content. Now this gaming convention in Italy, which is called Milan Games Week and was held between October 14th and 16th, actually had a gameplay demo of Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance HD, which is going to be part of the upcoming Kingdom Hearts 2.8. Now Sora's Dream, this channel which uploads Italian Kingdom Hearts content, actually recorded the demo gameplay of Dream Drop Distance HD and put it up on the channel. I will leave the link of the channel in the description below. And if some of you understand Italian or are Italian, maybe you'd like to check the content out. And plus, I'd like to thank him for letting me share this in the video. But anyways, the point of this video is going to be very simple. I'm pretty much going to go over what we notice, like the major differences, compared to the 3DS version. Okay guys, Dream Drop Distance HD looks fantastic. We're talking about a 3DS game on a PlayStation 4, and the game will be running at 60 frames per second. The gameplay looks very nice and very smooth. Now the first thing we notice, which is pretty much important, it's the drop gauge. Square Enix did mention that they were going to slow it down. And about the drop gauge, it kinda got confusing at one point, and what do I mean by this? While during the TGS 2016 trailer of 2.8, the drop gauge was missing, and a lot of us thought that Square Enix was probably going to remove it. But no, after watching this demo gameplay, no, the drop gauge is still there, so there you have it folks. They're not going to remove the drop gauge. It's part of the mechanics after all, right? We can also say that it's called Dream Drop Distance for a reason. Okay, next. Here's a small detail I've noticed. Maybe some of you didn't notice this, but it's the loading times. Dream Drop Distance on the 3DS, we're talking about a game on a cartridge, not a disc. Loading times on the cartridge are a lot faster. Now what I've noticed on the demo on screen right now is that the loading times are similar to the ones on the 3DS. Notice Riku's dive transitioning to Tron's world, it's pretty fast, just like the one on the 3DS. So knowing that the loading times are going to be pretty fast in 2.8, while Dream Drop Distance HD I mean, it's pretty great. And why is this great exactly? Well, fast loading times, right? But one of the main complaints of 2.5 was the loading times. Take the drive forms for example. The player had to press start and wait 5 seconds and then they would resume the boss battle. It kinda got annoying at some point. Plus, we're talking about 40 minutes of loading times for Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix, which is part of 2.5. And the thing with 2.5, there was no option to install the game on the PlayStation 3, unlike Birth by Sleep on the PSP, which drastically decreased the loading times of that game. Now, the question is, will Dream Drop Distance have the option to install data on the PlayStation 4? Is Square Enix considering it? After the number of complaints they've received for 2.5, maybe they might decide to do so. Alright, here's a small detail the player noticed while playing the demo. Flowmotion slightly feels different, apparently. The jumps are less high and the speed has been reduced. And about Sora's Dream, there's this website actually. I will leave the link in the description, but you'll have to translate the page, it's in Italian. The translation is not 100% accurate, but it still manages to give you guys an idea. Next, the map we see on the screen used to be on the bottom screen on the 3DS, now it's on the top right corner. And yes, of course, we're talking about a game on a console, so yeah, the map is going to be on screen. Now, some games require us to click on the touchpad to make the map appear. I don't know if the same thing applies for Dream Drop Distance HD. Now, one thing I've noticed, it's not very important, but I've noticed that the demo has a lot of combo plus ability. It's a support ability. Once it's unlocked, it's used permanently, unlike the stats abilities. The stats abilities requires the player to leave the Dream Eaters in the party. Here's one new thing I've noticed about the dive mode. During Riku's dive mode, we have this list of abilities. It kinda looks like a command menu. This used to be on the bottom screen on the 3DS. It looked different before. It was pictures and icons. Plus, we're talking about a game on 3DS being on a PlayStation 4, so yes, the commands and everything will be different. And this brings me to the reality shift. It doesn't require the use of the touchpad, which is something I honestly thought it would require in the beginning, but it turns out that we don't need the touchpad. Apparently, we have to press circle and triangle to unlock the reality shift and use the analog stick to control the attack. Now, I don't know if this applies for all of the reality shifts. We've only seen one during the demo. Now, there's one thing I really love about the HD version. It's that the game feels a bit more zoomed out. When playing the game on 3DS, it feels like everything is too close together, too zoomed in. Okay, now some of you are probably very familiar with Dream Drop Distance. I'm sure you know about Balloonga and Balloonra. Those commands are pretty overpowered. Now, I don't know whether or not Square Enix is planning on nerfing those down, but I wonder if the player noticed any difference, assuming the player has played the 3DS version. If they decide to leave those commands overpowered, hard, I don't mind. Those commands are pretty useful against Julius. And yes, I've seen that's pretty much what people use against Julius. Unless they're up for a challenge. In that case, they would use another strategy. But I don't know about you guys, would you like Square Enix to nerf those down? What do you think of Balloonra and Balloonga? Here's a slight thing the player noticed when playing the HD version. There's low polygons, just like Birth by Sleep in 2.5. And that pretty much makes the characters seem too sharp. I honestly don't worry about that. It's not that much of a problem. I mean, we're talking about a 3DS game on a PlayStation 4. The game already looks fantastic, so I'm not gonna worry too much about it. According to Nomura, this is not the master version. Kingdom Hearts 0.2 and Dream Drop Distance HD were both playable at E3 2016, and those demos were part of the old build. For TGS, 0.2 was revised. For Dream Drop Distance, I'm assuming it's the same demo from E3 2016, the demo we have right here. So I don't know if Square Enix is going to fix the low poly situation, but like I said, I don't think it's that big of a problem, or maybe that's just me. Okay, as for Kingdom Hearts 0.2, it wasn't available at Milan Games Week, so we can't really tell if this demo right here is part of the new build. And here's something extra mentioned by Nomura. Kingdom Hearts 2.8 will be supported on the PlayStation 4 Pro. Here's what was mentioned. By the way, will Kingdom Hearts 2.8 be supported on the PlayStation 4 Pro too? Nomura replied, it supports 4K, so it should cleanly play without any problems. Anything else detailed about support we will showcase next time. Before I end the video guys, there's just one thing I want to mention about the loading times. I did say that the loading times look fast in this HD version, but we're talking about a demo at the end of the day, so maybe this might change. But what do you guys think? Other than that guys, this is pretty much it for the video. So as usual, if you have any questions, any thoughts, share them all in the comment section. And as always, I've been Vivi and thanks for watching.